welcome. This is Jess over at Earth Rose Arts, and for my first video today, I really wanted to make the type of video that I really love to watch, and that is the what is in my art bag video. I have a whole playlist of hours of that saved from other artists, and I thought that today I would make one of my own because I actually love creating little travel art bags. It's kind of a passion of mine. So this will definitely not be the last, as I have even just now ready to go 3 more different types of art bags, but this is the one that I have been carrying the most lately. Now this is just a canvas pouch that came with a tote bag that I bought on Amazon, but I really loved it because it has these thistles on it, and for some reason I feel very attracted to Scotland these days, and the thistle is their national flower, so I thought that that was yeah, I really liked that, and it's got all these different flowers on it and stuff. So, you know, for a free tote bag, I thought this was great, and it's the perfect size. Yeah, so let's get started. Let's see what is inside of here. Okay, so we've got the paint brushes. We've got my watercolor kit. A sketchbook. Container of water. This is like the rags. And some drawing utensils. So it's a very simple simple little art kit, and that's what I love about travel art kits, is that it really asks you to simplify the products that you want to bring. I always pack my bag with so many things because I love to journal, I love to read, I love to paint, so my bag gets really heavy if I want to bring all the supplies with me. And also sometimes when you have too much, it becomes you know, like the paradox of choice, where you then end up feeling like there's just too many options, right? So when it's simplified, it helps you just kind of like get right to it. So the first thing I took out were these travel art brushes. This case came with, I forgot which set it came with, but it came with one of the sets. This is like a mix of different ones. Okay, so I have 2 from Princeton Neptune, a size 10 and a size 4. And then these Bialek, B-I-A-E-L-K, size 5 and a size 2. These are a little, I'll get to these. So this is pretty straightforward, the Princeton ones. This is a large brush, and this is a smaller brush. These are round brushes, but I've had these for a few years now, and I feel like they've held the tip pretty well. So I've been really happy with these, and Princeton does make really good products in my opinion. Now, this was a random brand I saw on Amazon a couple years back, and I don't really know if they're still available or not, but I was attracted to them because they are travel art brushes that have like different types of points on them. Most of the time, the travel art brushes that I've seen are mostly rounds or rigger brushes, which are like the really, really thin ones. But these came with like a flat edge, which I really liked. And I don't actually use these as much. I tend to go for the round brushes, but I brought them in here so that I can try something new every once in a while. So these are the 4 brushes that are in this bag. And then I have this little container of water that I will just, you know, dip into and use. This is a Nalgene. I definitely recommend getting a brand that you know and trust with your water container if you're doing watercolor art and everything is going to be in the same bag, because you just don't want that leaking. You want to know for a fact that it's going to be good. And in my experience, Nalgene has been a really, really good company. And these came in a pack, and it was not terribly expensive. They have different sizes also, but this one works the best for this kit. And yeah, we have kneaded eraser. I keep in this little, I don't know, I guess it's like a craft box. It came in a whole pack. I just took like, I kept like 6 of them, and I just gave the rest to my friend who sells little things, and I just think that it would benefit him more. I don't need like 80 of these laying around. And this is just a regular rubber eraser that I cut, clip, always good for the windy days. And then I have a smaller clip here that I can use as well, but right now, and most of the time when I don't need it, I just use it to hold my rag in place, to give it like a little weight so it doesn't get blown off in when it's windy outside. And I have 3 pens here with me. This is a size 3 micron, so it's a little bit thinner. It's a bit finer point. And then these are both size 0.5 uni pen fine line, and one is sepia and one is gray. And it's nice just to have different variety depending on the subject or my mood, or if I want to add detail or any sort of depth to something. Like for instance, I can start with the gray and then use the black to kind of like accentuate certain darks. Yeah, or you know, I tend to really do like a gray black scale or just sepia when I think about that. And this is a water brush. You probably have seen these before, but these are super handy and useful when you don't want to be messing around with a container of water and brushes and stuff like that. You know, sometimes you want to have it really simple, really quick, really easy, and this is perfect for that. It has a brush. This one's kind of a wide one. I think this was supposed to be a flat, but I just use it like normal. You can use it both ways, really, you know. And this is great for doing, if you like squeeze it, you can see the water comes out. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah. So you can activate your paint, you can move your paint around and stuff like that. And it's nylon bristles, so I don't have to worry so much about ruining them as well. Like with these, I'm definitely more careful about how I recap them. I will probably re-wet it and recap it again. Re-wet it before I recap it, because even some of the bristles are coming loose, and if you cap it wrong, it'll kind of mess up the bristles. But this one you don't have to worry about as much. Yeah, let's see. So this is the watercolor palette. If you've watched a few of these art videos, then this will be a very familiar palette to you. This is a Winsor & Newton Cotman palette. This is more like, it came with Winsor & Newton student grade paints, but I did replace them with some of my own. This is my little swatch sheet. This Van Dyke Brown is really sticky. It always gets stuck. But these are the colors that I have in my palette. And these are actually mostly Winsor & Newton colors. The Van Dyke Brown and the greenish yellow are from, I think, Mission Gold, Magello Mission Gold. But most of these other colors are actually from a different Winsor & Newton set that I got a couple of years ago. And I really, really, really love that palette, but it was a tin palette, so it's a little bit heavier. And I realized that I didn't take it out and use it as much because I was feeling more precious about it for some reason. Whereas this is just like a, I don't know, I think because it's plastic, it feels less energetically intrusive. I don't know, it's a weird way to think about it, but I feel like with, okay, I think when I had the metal tin, it felt very like, oh, professional, and then I felt like I had to make something, you know, really captivating and special with it. And then when it's kind of like a fun little plastic palette, it makes it feel just more like practice and playtime. It doesn't make any logical sense, I know, but that's just, I think, how my brain was thinking about it. And in addition, it's very lightweight, so it's easy to carry around and throw in my bag. And then I have a 2B drawing pencil in here. I don't even know what brand this is. OFA. I have no idea. But I've had this pencil forever and it just fit in here, and it's a nice density, so I just use it for that. And this is my little sketchbook. This is also from Amazon. It's from a brand called Funto. Yeah, I'm just covering my info there, but it's just, I think it came in like a pack of 3 or 2, and it's got this nice little envelope in the back. Did I do that? No, that came with it. And it's like a perfect little sized sketchbook. I can show you some of the things that are here. So that's a drawing that I made. Wow, almost almost a year ago. I took myself out to dinner at this really nice restaurant near me called Tall John's, and the flowers on the table were really pretty. There's some swatches. I think I was just playing with color because I felt very uninspired, which happens from time to time with the sunset, where I don't really feel like I can draw anything, so I just play with colors. This is the fire pit in our backyard. And yeah, like I didn't really use this much. This last one was May of 2024, and then we skip forward to March of 2025 where I started using it again. This is when I had like put everything in this together and made myself bring it out more. So I went and took myself out to this Indian buffet and did a drawing of my food. And on the walk home that day, there was someone had stuck a stem of dried flowers on this barbed wire fence, and I really liked the contrast of something so soft with something so sharp, something so warm with something so cold, and it's just like lit against this perfectly blue sky. One of my neighbors has goats. As you can see, I'm not very good at drawing. You know, I'm not like a professional. I just like having fun. But I sat there for a little bit and yeah, just tried to sketch the goats. This one turned out not that bad, actually. I kind of like that one. And this is at a cafe not too far from me. I went food shopping that day and then decided to treat myself to a spicy mocha. And while I sat there and enjoyed my drink, I just sketched the people that were sitting there and working. And this is actually just a plant in my room. Again, like I'm not always feeling super inspired, and I will just do like quick doodles of something quite simple. And I think this is like typical in these types of videos. So I'm going to swatch these colors for you that are in my paint palette. I think I'll use the water brush because that'll just be a little easier today rather than messing with a whole lot of other stuff, you know. You can see how this works too. So I'm going to wet it. All right. And we'll first start with the Windsor Red. And so as you're painting, the water brush will just naturally release more water, and you can just clean it off by dabbing it onto a paper towel. You can squeeze the vessel handle for more water to come out. So that's Windsor Red. I guess I'll just do the reds first. This is Alizarin Crimson. And we have French Ultramarine. I always really like ultramarine because it's often a very granulating color, and I just love the textures you can get with it. And we have Windsor blue, which is kind of like a phthalo blue. Always quite pigmented, but makes really nice greens when you mix it. Now this is raw sienna. So I don't know, this is what came with the palette, and it's labeled raw sienna. As you can see, I'm really kind of like digging in there because it's doesn't reconstitute as well. But this really looks just like a ochre to me. So I don't know if they mislabeled it, or if I mean, I don't know paints that well, so I could be totally wrong. But this looks like an ochre to me. So I call it ochre in my head, but technically it's raw sienna. And this is Windsor yellow, which is like a classic permanent yellow color. Then we have burnt sienna. Which is really like beautiful, kind of a golden brown color. And Van Dyke brown, which is more of like a dark yellow, earthy brown. So you can see this one's like a little more reddish, and this one's a little more yellow in its undertone. We have permanent sap green. And greenish yellow. I love this kind of green. It's like a nice golden green color. We have lemon yellow. I put it back here because it's actually quite opaque and almost works like a, yeah, it like makes the colors really pastel when I blend it with them. So I have my lightest and my darkest on that side of the palette, and then we have black coming up, ivory black. So these are the colors that I bring with me in this little travel art kit. Now this has to dry, but we can start packing everything back. sun's coming out. Might be a good day to take this out for a spin. So I really hope that you liked this video. This was actually really fun to make. I can't wait to show you my other art pouches. And if you did like this video, I would love it if you hit that thumbs up button. You are welcomed to subscribe if you do want to see my other art bags, my other travel art kits. And I would love it if you left a comment below sharing what types of supplies that you love to bring, whether any of this stuff in my pouch was the same as what you have in your pouch, or if you have anything different, if there's anything you think that I should add to this pouch, let me know, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. Okay, bye.